What's up, everybody? Kafka here, and today I want to show you a map. I want to show you a map with the build. I got a lot of comments saying this build just doesn't cut it during mapping. Well, I want to prove everyone wrong and just show you guys how I'm mapping. Maybe you have a build that is way better, but I am enjoying this build, so I'm having a lot of fun with it. So that's why I want to keep playing it and get better with it. Like, I'm not used to this build yet, but once I get really good at it, I'm sure I'll be even faster. So we're gonna do this tier 16. This tier 16. I'm gonna show you some stuff about a breach too, because breaches are okay in this build, but they are still a little bit harder. So when we're going through, the main abilities that we're casting is Frostwall. So Frostwall is basically doing a couple things for us. It will block incoming damage. So before I played this build, I had a Detonate Dead Stormweaver, which is very powerful, and the minions would block some of the damage. So I had to get used to actually using the frost walls to block some of the damage. But also what we're doing is we're blowing up the frost walls. And the reason why it's a little bit slower is because we're using Temporal Rift when our mana is down. So you're going to notice that I port backwards quite a bit. So I'll give you an example. Let's see. So he's going there. He's going there. I need mana. I notice it. I port back. I got a little bit of mana there. I was a little bit late on that one. So when I blow all my mana, though, I will need to port back to make sure that my mana regains. I could use pots, too. Pots still work. But it's a little bit faster to get your mana back, even if you have to port backwards. And it generally only happens on rares, because that's when most of your cast on crit happens, because the rares have more HP. So there, I did it for life. So I just Temporal Rift because my life was low, and I'm like, oh shoot, I better Temporal Rift out of that. Okay, so there's a rare. You're gonna notice my mana's gonna drop a lot. Temporal Rift came back, and that's the main mapping style. So yeah, you're going backwards sometimes because you're temporal riffing, so it is a little bit slower than my Detonate Dead source, because I could just like literally run into anything. And I just found out on that build you could actually point your minions in a direction. So we'll fast forward this while I set up the mines here. Let's fast forward a little bit, and then we could explode it and show you how that looks on the expedition. So about to hit the explode, but I like doing this because you could just kind of like sit in the corner and you don't have to worry about mobs like getting to you, especially if you're like in a corner like this. They're really not going to get to you at all. So I'm just killing everything, taking my time a little bit here. This one I was actually close to leveling too, so I was like, I don't want to die. Like that's the worst thing that could happen. It could set you back. I noticed the rare's in the back there, so I'm like, all right, let's go get the rare. Let's fight him. Let's see what he's all about. Got him down, picking up everything. Got to pick up all the artifacts. Using the artifacts to try to get some gear too. It's on the other side. You got to walk around. Oh boy. Oh boy. But I know there's so many builds like Spark. Spark is probably the most played sorceress build right now in the game. That's why all the gear is so expensive for it. Well, not in the game, but at least on Sorcerer. I don't know what else has a ton of played. I know there's a lot of Spark characters. So one, this build is something different. It's really fun. It clears tier 16s. You can see that it does it. It's not as fast as a Spark build because you could just sit there and cast sparks to fill up the whole screen. I do have teleport on weapon swap too, so if I like have a rare that's super far away, I could weapon swap to that, so that is helpful too. One thing that I will say about this build though, this build is insane for bossing. We've seen the bossing. I'll probably show another clip in a little bit, but I killed the Breachstone boss in literally seconds. And I think that is cool to have, because what you could do is if you had two characters, you could actually clear everything. And then if you want to use this character to do the bossing, you could. So you could actually basically do the whole instance, and then when the boss is ready to be killed, you could switch over to that boss. And I've done that before because my Detonate Dead Sorc is a little bit better on clearing maps. It is pretty fast. So looks like we got another rare here. Look how fast this rare blows up. Like, that's insane. Okay, map completed. So that's basically it. That's the map. Let me show you guys a breach real quick. All right, so this is a breach in a tight area. This is actually horrible. So it goes really bad. I almost died. I actually had a time freeze. So I do not like this build in tight areas for breaches. So in bigger areas, it's a lot better, but in tight areas, it is not very fun to do. I don't die, but literally come super close to dying. I did get a 19 skill gem there. I was like, what up? So I'm looking for 4 more mobs. Like here, I'm even like, oh, there's a pillar there where I can't even cast to. So now this guy's going to free cast from the pillar on me. And I'm like, oh, that's great. That's so great. So I couldn't get to him, but yeah, it is not great in small, dense areas for breaches. So I would recommend if it's a map like this one, you probably want to stay away from it and, you know, try to find open map breaches for this character. Cause it is, look at that. Look at my life. Oh my gosh. It's so low. It's so low. All right. So now the real reason why we are playing this dude. All right. So here we're going to see 2 things. So we're doing a breach stone, but what I did is I did the breach stone breach with the Detonate Dead Sorc on the left, and then you could see I switched over to the Comet cast on crit, and we just do tons of damage to this guy. I mean, he's not getting one shot because I think this is the hardest tier that I was fighting him on, but he is gonna go down. You know, like he's getting basically smacked around a lot faster than I would do on my Detonate Dead. So, and he's still frozen. He's still frozen on the right there. His life's almost down now. So yeah, this is like the hardest of this boss you could fight. And he goes down. Okay, so actually that was 1 before the hardest. So that was 6 out of 8. I forgot what video I posted. But you can see that build is really sweet, and literally we got room to grow on gear. We got room to get better. We got room to be more tanky too, because like I've seen energy shield chest with like, I don't know, I think it's 800 ES. Mine's like 500 and something. And the helm, like the helms could go up to like 400 or 500. So our build could get tankier on the right. And you know, there's a lot more we can add to make this even better and tankier, but that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm having a blast doing it. I think that both of these builds are really, really cool. And let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? It's fine. You can roast me. Nothing gets to me. It's fine. This is what I'm doing. But let me know in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe. Give me some ideas you guys want to see from some videos. I will definitely try to make those as well. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.